Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of an impoverished region, there lived a young man named Arjun. Born into a family of farmers, he grew up witnessing his parents toil endlessly on their small plot of land, earning barely enough to put food on the table. Despite their poverty, his parents instilled in him the values of hard work, honesty, and resilience. Arjun was determined to rise above his circumstances and change not only his life but also the lives of those around him. Arjun's journey to becoming the world's richest man began in the most humble of ways. From a young age, he displayed an insatiable curiosity. Unlike other children who spent their days playing in the fields, Arjun would sit under the banyan tree near his house, poring over old, tattered books he borrowed from the village teacher. He had a particular fascination with stories of invention, trade, and the great empires of history. Though he had little formal education, his hunger for knowledge and his ability to absorb and apply what he learned set him apart. One day, while helping his father sell surplus vegetables at the village market, Arjun overheard a group of traders discussing a new type of grain that yielded better harvests. The grain was being sold in the nearby town, and farmers who adopted it were seeing their incomes double. Though he had no money to spare, Arjun convinced his father to let him take a small portion of their savings to buy a sack of the grain. He promised that this investment would pay off. Skeptical but supportive, his father agreed. Arjun's experiment was a resounding success. The new grain thrived in their fields, producing a bumper crop that not only fed their family but also left a surplus to sell at a higher price. This initial success planted a seed of confidence in Arjun. He realized that knowledge and calculated risks could open doors to opportunities that hard labor alone could not. Encouraged by this small victory, Arjun began to dream bigger. He saved every coin he could and started traveling to nearby towns to learn about trade and markets. During one such trip, he noticed that farmers struggled to transport their goods due to a lack of affordable options. Sensing an opportunity, Arjun decided to address this problem. He used his savings to buy an old, broken-down cart and repaired it himself. He then offered transportation services to the farmers at a fraction of what others charged. The cart business quickly became a success. Farmers appreciated Arjun's reliability and fairness, and soon, his single cart turned into a fleet. With each step, Arjun reinvested his earnings, always focusing on solving problems and creating value. His reputation as a fair and innovative businessman grew, and people began to seek his advice. However, Arjun's ambitions stretched far beyond his village. He had always been captivated by the stories of bustling cities and global trade. Determined to see the world beyond the hills, he decided to leave the village and head to the city. With only a few coins in his pocket and a heart full of dreams, he boarded a rickety bus to the metropolis. The city was overwhelming at first. Skyscrapers towered over him, and the streets buzzed with energy. Arjun took up odd jobs to sustain himself, from cleaning warehouses to delivering parcels. It was during one of these jobs that he stumbled upon a small electronics repair shop. Fascinated by the gadgets and machines, he started spending his evenings learning from the shop owner, an old man named Mr. Mehta, who took a liking to Arjun's enthusiasm. Under Mr. Mehta's mentorship, Arjun not only learned to repair electronics but also began to understand the growing importance of technology in the modern world. He realized that the future lay in innovation and connectivity. Armed with this knowledge, Arjun decided to start his own business. Using his savings and a small loan from Mr. Mehta, he began importing affordable electronic components and assembling them into radios, which he sold to rural communities at a fraction of the market price. The venture took off. Villages that had never had access to radios suddenly found themselves connected to the world. Farmers could now listen to weather forecasts, market prices, and news. Arjun's business grew rapidly, and he reinvested his profits into expanding his operations. He hired young, talented engineers and set up a small factory. Soon, he diversified into other products like affordable televisions and solar-powered lamps. Despite his growing wealth, Arjun remained grounded. He never forgot his roots and made it a point to give back to his village. He built schools, provided scholarships for bright but underprivileged students, and introduced modern farming techniques to help farmers increase their yields. As his company grew, Arjun began to explore the world of technology on a larger scale. He realized that the future was digital. While visiting a technology conference, he learned about the internet and its transformative potential. Determined not to be left behind, he invested heavily in learning everything he could about this new frontier. He assembled a team of visionaries and engineers and launched an ambitious project to bring affordable internet access to rural areas. The project was a massive undertaking, requiring significant resources and infrastructure. Arjun faced numerous challenges, from technical setbacks to resistance from established players in the telecommunications industry. But his persistence paid off. Within a few years, he succeeded in creating a low-cost, high-speed internet network that connected millions of people in remote areas. The impact was profound. Small businesses flourished as they gained access to new markets. Students could access online education, and farmers used mobile apps to improve their practices and find better prices for their crops. Arjun's company became a global sensation, attracting investors and partnerships from around the world. By this time, Arjun was no longer just a businessman, he was a visionary leader. His ventures expanded into renewable energy, healthcare, and artificial intelligence. Each project was driven by his core philosophy, solving real-world problems and creating opportunities for those who needed them most. However, as his success grew, so did his challenges. Arjun faced fierce competition, and some of his ambitious projects initially failed, leading to significant financial losses. Yet, he viewed every setback as a lesson and used these experiences to refine his strategies. He assembled a team of advisors who helped him navigate through crises, ensuring that his vision remained intact. One of Arjun's most transformative ventures was in renewable energy. He invested in solar and wind power technologies, aiming to provide affordable and sustainable energy to underserved regions. This endeavor revolutionized energy access in rural areas, where people had long relied on kerosene lamps and unreliable power grids. The initiative not only improved living conditions but also created thousands of jobs, further solidifying Arjun's reputation as a leader who prioritized people over profits. Another groundbreaking project was in healthcare. Arjun launched a chain of low-cost medical clinics equipped with telemedicine facilities, allowing patients in remote villages to consult with doctors in urban centers. This innovation saved countless lives and reduced the burden on overcrowded hospitals. Additionally, his company developed affordable diagnostic tools and medicines, making quality healthcare accessible to millions. As the years passed, Arjun's influence extended beyond business. He became a global advocate for education and entrepreneurship, often speaking at international forums about the importance of empowering marginalized communities. He established a foundation dedicated to supporting young innovators, providing them with mentorship, funding, and resources to bring their ideas to life. Arjun's rise to becoming the richest man in the world was not just a tale of financial success but also a story of resilience, vision, and compassion. He understood that wealth was a tool to create positive change, and he used his resources to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges. His initiatives in education, technology, energy, and healthcare transformed lives and inspired a new generation of leaders. Years later, when Arjun was recognized as the richest man in the world, he stood on a global stage to deliver a speech. But instead of talking about his wealth, he spoke about his journey, the lessons he had learned, and his belief in the power of education, innovation, and perseverance. True wealth, he said, is not measured by what you have, but by the impact you create. Arjun's story became an inspiration to millions. He proved that with determination, vision, and a commitment to making a difference, it was possible to rise from the humblest beginnings to achieve greatness. And through it all, he remained true to his roots, using his success to uplift others and create a legacy that would endure for generations to come.